Hi there, Stampers. It's Linda Schmitt with Stampin' with the Houndz. Thanks again for stopping by today to visit my channel. I have another fun fold in my fun fold series. This is sticking with the bookbinding fun fold, but we're going to now make it a gatefold as well. So we're adding another aspect onto it, because normally your bookbinding, it would just be the one, this top part would just open up completely, but now we're going to split it and make it a gatefold. So this is using a stamp set that has been in the catalog, and it's carrying over into our new catalog that comes out in May. But this is Coffee with Friends. This is a set, I borrowed it from my mom. I was down visiting her in Iowa over Easter, and of course I had to raid her stamp room and see what she had that I didn't have. So thanks, Mom. These are cards that are going to be for you. So these are, like I said, this is Coffee with Friends. And then the paper I'm using, this is a little latte paper, which is online only. And it has some great coffee patterns. And then there is a stamp set and dies that coordinates with it, but I didn't get those. I just got the paper. So these are just some other samples with that bookbinding gatefold using it. And then this is from the... It's actually, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can get this. It's like $12 online. It is the, what do they call this? Thanks and Beyond dies. So as a demonstrator, I was able to order it, solo without having a Paper Pumpkin subscription. But it has 4 dies, so it does the little butterfly and then this little shape, and then the thanks. That's kind of where that came from. So if you are a subscriber, make sure you get that, because it's only $12. So it's kind of fun. And then the other one I made uses from the Sending Love stamp set. That's where I got that a little note to say I miss you. So that is carrying over as well into the big catalog. So this is another one using that paper in the stamp set. Lots of coloring on this one. My hands were a little sore yesterday after doing all that coloring. But so anyway, so those are going to be the samples that I made with this coffee set. We are going to do a version of this one today, and we're adding a shaker to it because I love my shaker cards. But some other samples that I did with this kind of gatefold, fun fold, I just got the fern set, and this is in the mini catalog, but it is going to carry over into the main catalog. So this is another set that I think got overlooked a little bit. It's really, I like ferns, so, but it's a really pretty set, and it has gorgeous dies, and I always like dies that have shapes, so you can cut out your sayings and stuff, and then it has this great border that you can use around it too. So that, again, it will be in the main catalog. So these are just some samples using that fern set. And this is I went through some of my old paper just to find some stuff that had fern themes with it. So this is the first one I made. And then opens up. So this is that shaded spruce. I did a little bit of the soft sea foam, and then I embossed it with the copper embossing powder. And then this is just some retired ribbon, but really fun. And then the other one I did, so this paper is actually online only. It was in our holiday catalog, but they carried it over, so you can still get this paper. And even though it's kind of like a Christmas theme, I still thought it worked good with the ferns, and it has like the little juniper berries in there. So this is using that blueberry bushel as my card stock, and then a shaded spruce, and then soft sea foam for our colors, and then copper embossing powder. And then this one, when it opens, I just did some of that fern embossing folder, so that carried over, which is good, because I only had 3 folders left after the retirement list. So yeah, April 30th, a lot of our retiring items are going to be gone. So just make sure you check out that retirement list. We do have some items going on sale starting on Tuesday, April 9th. So make sure you check that out. Check out my website. So anyway, we're going to get started on the gatefold. So what you're going to need for your supplies will be a cardstock base, which is 4 1/4 by 11. So it's just 1 sheet of paper cut in half. And we're going to score it 2 1/8, 3 3/8, and 8 7/8. I know, wonky measurements, but it's what works. I was futzing around with it yesterday, and that's kind of how I got it to work out. So you're going to need some plastic. This is just it winds up being like about 4x4, and I just use your plastic from like your designer series paper or any of your embellishments. It's just reusable, so you don't have to throw away that plastic. Keep some of it on hand so you can make your flat shaker cards. So I'm going to put that over here so I don't lose it. And then for my front panel, I've already colored it just to save on time with it. So this panel, it was a white cardstock that's 3 by 2 3/4. And then I've already colored it. So I'll go over that. I'll go over the colors that I used on that when we get to that part. And then the layering piece for that is 3 1/4 by 3, and this is just that petal pink cardstock, so it's just a square. So again, that's just that flap that I made. Then you're going to need, for the bookbinding side, a 1 by 4 piece of pattern paper. And again, this is a little latte. So I'm using the front and back to kind of show off, which is kind of nice on this one. So that's 1 by 4. And then whatever you want on the front. So I have 2 pieces here that are cut to be 1 7/8 by 4. And I'm saying that's pattern A, and then this is my pattern B. So just so that I know what I'm cutting. So basically you can just do 1 sheet of paper if it's front and back, and you can use both sides, or you can just pick other papers to do that. And then on this one, I did the designer series paper on the inside as well to decorate all 3 panels. So that main one, and if you don't want to do the pattern paper, you can just do cardstock. This is 4 by 4. And then I just die cut a square that I'll stamp my saying on. And then for the inside panels, again, I'm just using the same paper. I'm just doing the front and back on it. This one again is 1 7/8 by 4, and you'll need 2 of them. So that's for the inside. So lots of another fun fold that shows off your both sides of your paper, as well as using up some smaller scraps, because we all have those from making cards. So we're going to do the scoring first, and then the other thing you'll need is some sequins for the shaker card, and then whatever you want for your embellishments, your stamps or any die cutting. All right, so again, this is on the 11-inch side, and we're going to score. Get this over here. We're going to score at 2 1/8. So that's going to be that little hash mark next to the 2. So that's 2 1/8. 3 3/8. So it's 1 2 3. That's our 3 3/8. And then the 8 7/8 is this little hash mark that is right before the 9. All right, and that is it for scoring. Let's grab my bone folder. There it is. Okay, so we've got our scores. What you're going to do is you are going to bring this one in, and then you will, I just like turn this around. Then you're going to bring this one, because these are what makes that gatefold. So you kind of bring those edges together. And then this part becomes your bookbinding. That's going to fold back. So when you get done, you've got that back one, and it comes in. So this will be glued down, and then there's our little gatefold on there. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and attach our panels, our designer series paper. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do my inside here because I like to kind of do this first just to get it done. So like I said, you're going to keep, because this is where we're going to tape, and that becomes our spine. So then I just line this up and center it, so I've got that, you're going to see that early espresso border all the way around. So let's go ahead and attach that to the inside. And then that's the other side of the paper. So fun. It's got the little hearts, little coffee swirls. Kind of a fun. Oh, I love this paper. So fun. And today's a good coffee day. Oh my gosh, it's raining. But we need it. It's better than snow, that's for sure. I know people are getting all excited. The eclipse is going to be happening. Gosh, is that tomorrow? We're not going. It's going to be cloudy and rainy here in Minnesota, so we probably won't see anything. All right, so there's that. And then I was going to do, I think, my coffee beans on the inside. So when I cut these, I just want to make sure, because I did mirror it. I had my one piece. There we go. Okay. So we're going to attach these to the panels. Yeah, it's a good day to stay inside and stamp. And I've been working on some of my other kind of card samples with some of my newer items that I have recently purchased. And then finally, because I was able, as demonstrators, we get to pre-order stuff out of the new catalog, and that comes, I think, Wednesday. So I'm excited to get my new stuff in the new colors. All right, so on this spine here, we're going to go ahead, and I like to use just a strong adhesive. I'm just going to take my tear-in tape and just put a couple of strips down here. And then I'm just going to leave it for now because I'll wrap ribbon around here eventually. Okay, so then we want to now decorate our front. So I'm going to take, let's see here, I was doing the Calypso Coral beans on the front. And then oh, I think I still like the plaid. I still kind of like that plaid. Okay, we'll put that on the spine. So again, this was at 1x4. Take our little handy dandy adhesive remover. There we go. All right, and then make sure and that's the other side, this coffee swirl. Love it. Let's see here. There we go. So that'll be the right side. Yeah, this is another one of I really like this color combination, the Calypso Coral and the Early Espresso and the Petal Pink and the Lemon Lolly. I kind of like these colors together. All right, so there is that. All right, so now I'm going to take some ribbon, because I'm going to go ahead and do this. So this is just some retired, I think this was like our early espresso, it was like a suede ribbon. I'm trying to use up all this retired ribbon that I've been hoarding for years. So I'm trying to use find card folds that use ribbon. All right. So then, and I'm just going to tie a double knot. And if you don't want to do the ribbon, if you don't like tying knots or bows, you can skip this part. It's not required to have the ribbon. Right, and then we'll just snip our ends. Just kind of cut at an angle. All right, so now I can go ahead and remove this adhesive on the spine. I just use part of my pick tool here to lift up that backing. And then you'll just bring that down. So now you've got that gatefold working. And then this was going to be on the inside. That's how I did it here. I fussy cut this out of the Designer Series paper, and then we do our little stamping there. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the Let's Get Together Soon. So these, I think this one is retyped. Yes. So these two blocks, they're not going to, Stampin' Up's not going to carry these anymore, at least this size. So this is G and A. So if you don't have these, I would recommend getting them now, because after April 30th, they'll be gone. They're not carrying these two sizes. So these are those tiny ones. This one is 2.5 by 3/4 of an inch is G. And then the A is 1 3/16 by 1 1/4. So these are really great for those tiny stamps. So if you don't have these, stock up, because that's what I did. All right, so we're going to do Let's Get Together Soon. We're just going to stamp this kind of right at the top so I have room to do my writing underneath it. And then while I have my ink pad out, on the front, so this die is actually from the Perennial Postage dies, but this Coffee with a Friend is like Happiness in a Cup, fit perfectly on here. I need to hopefully not get my head in here. Try and stamp straight. Oh, fail. Let's try it again. That's why I die cut too. Try it again. Take 2. There we go. All right, and then I'm just going to layer these on top of each other. And then this will be on the front of the card. Put that there. And then I'll grab, so like I said, I fussy cut these already. This is from out of the pattern paper, because I don't have the dies that go with this paper, but I just got the paper. Sometimes I don't always get the suite. Oh boy. It's one of those days. I can't stamp without making a mess. Oh, it happens. There we go. All right, so we'll put this in here, because I was going to have this kind of sit there. And then we will adhere this then. Oh, there's Ezera. My little Greyhound. She's always stamping with me. Yeah, we used to have 4 Greyhounds, and we're down to 1. So my Stampin' with the Houndz, it's now just Stampin' with the Hound. It should just be Stampin' with Ezera. All right, let's do the shaker part. So again, now this is going to be my focal point. So on my flap, This was that 3 by 2 3/4. So basically you can make this any size. This is just what worked for this stamp set. So I've already colored it with the Stampin' blends. And what I did for my coloring, my grass I did was with the lemon lime twist, both the light and the dark. The bench I did 100 and 200, and these are basically kind of like on the legs of it. And then the wood part I did pecan pie, light and dark. And then for the brunette, her hair I did 400, and then her skin was 800. So these are out of the neutral Stampin' blends. There's not a color name, they're just numbers. And then her outfit, these are both all light and dark. Calypso Coral, Lemon Lolly, and then Gray Granite for her shoes. And then for the blonde, her hair, I did Lemon Lolly, and then I took 500 just to add a little bit of highlights to it so it wasn't so yellow, like Barbie doll yellow. And then her skin is 500 and 900. I kind of did a combination. And then her shirt is Lost Lagoon. The shoes were Gray Granite, and I did a little bit of Lost Lagoon on those as well. And then her pants were a combination of the Gray Granite, and then I did do the light basic black, because the dark one is really dark, just to give it some shadowing. So that's all colored. And then the coffee cups, I did Lost Lagoon in there as well. And then she's got a little bit of Lost Lagoon in her ponytail. So that's all colored. And then I just did like that Memento black ink pad when you're stamping. And then I do, because when you do Stampin' blends, it does bleed through. I always do our thick white cardstock. And then of course you do need to layer that because you don't want to see that on there. So, but before I layer that on there, we're going to do the shaker part. But again, that layering piece was 3 1/4 by 3, and I did petal pink for that. So we'll set that aside for now. We'll go ahead and make our shaker card. So again, because my white cardstock was about 3 by 2 3/4, I just grabbed, this is like 4, I kind of trimmed it, but it needs just to be, you know, like a 1/2 inch, a little bit more going around the border all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and put the plastic on top. And then what I like to do is you're going to cut at an angle each of these corners, because we're going to wrap this around the paper to make our little pouch. So you just need to cut these at an angle fairly close to the corner of your cardstock. Yeah, the flat shaker cards I love making because, again, it uses up the plastic packaging that you always have from items, and then it mails really nice, so it's not a thick card. All right, and then you're going to go ahead and put adhesive. We're just going to make a pouch. I only do 3 sides at first. So make sure I'm not moving this around. I gotta look at my light here. Okay, so then this is going to get folded over to make that pouch. So then now you've got your little pouch to put your sequins in there. And then just because sometimes that sequins, I should have done this first, but I'm going to go ahead just real quick here. I'm just going to do a little bit of powder, just anti-static powder. Easier said than done. Should have done this to begin with, but just so that my sequins doesn't stick to it. And then your sequins, you know, whatever you have. I've got some retired stuff, and I also have some that I got from a little local craft store. And you don't want to go too crazy with the sequins just because this is a small pouch. But I'm going to go ahead and just scoop up a few colors. These are kind of just some copper, black, vanilla. kind of a little iridescent. Oh, totally missed. Oh my goodness. Try that again. Kind of sitting at a bad angle here. Okay, and then we'll put a little bit of these in. Oh, we're gonna get little Ezera sass. Yeah, she's talking to all of you. I know, Ezera. We're gonna go outside in the rain for your walk. All right, let's throw in a little bit more here. And then I just kind of give it a little bit of shake just to see if that looks pretty good. And then I've got all of this. I can put that off to the side. I know, Ezera, we're almost done. Almost done. Okay. So I'm going to turn this over. Now we want to close it. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on the cardstock, and then I'll bring my flap down. And then I'm going to get this out of the way so I don't get sequins everywhere. Okay. And then on the back of this plastic, I do like to use the tear and tape again, just to hold this plastic a little bit better than just normal adhesive onto the cardstock. So we'll just run this around the border. And I'll use that pick tool again. Oh, got a sequence hanging out. Yeah, and you want it when you're using some of the, you know, recycled plastic. Make sure there's no holes. I did a card over for my St. Patrick's Day, and I'm like, why does the sequins keep falling out? Well, there's a little hole in the front of the plastic that I didn't see. So then all my sequins kept falling out. I'm like, oh boy. All right, and then we just center that on there. And then I just position this so that 1/2 of this is going to be adhered to the flap. So again, I'm just going to use some tear and tape. And so, like I said, only half of this is going to be on. And then you just make sure it's not showing. And then we'll take our saying that we had stamped earlier, and I'm going to attach that onto the, on top of the plastic. And I'm going to overlap that a little bit. So I'm just going to put dimensional. So I'm going to leave this blank. I'm just going to attach a couple of these. And then that'll sit kind of like there. All right. And that is it. So super easy fun fold. Again, that is in my fun fold series. So this was that Gatefold with the bookbinding. So make sure you check out my other fun fold series cards. I'll put links at the bottom in the description. And I just want to say thank you again for joining me today and supporting me by liking and subscribing to my channel. Have a great and creative day, and I will stamp again with you soon. Bye-bye.